Oh shit!
Oh shit, dog.
This is
Web
happening.
this web show is on.
We got show.
We're making the show, making good. Yes.
So we're back for episode 3.
Yes.
Can you believe that?
Yes.
Talk
Let
some
me
more.
hang on. Let me just do this little. Okay. This is fantastic, right?
I think so. Does this stream look okay for you?
It looks great.
Great.
Before we start, let me just send out a quick Twitter thingamabobber.
I think my thing should be fixed now. It should have said we are live, or maybe it didn't. Yeah. There you go.
Let me finish chewing my hard candy.
What are you having? That sounds delicious.
It is extremely delicious.
Shawshank.
Of course he's here. Nice.
There you go.
Hey, can we just before we start? And I know everything's going great. I'm sure you had a wonderful week, but can we talk some real talk before we get into kind of like all this, like the game stuff? Have you ever had like a nose hair kind of tickle your nose like constantly?
Yes.
Like all day, and you're just like, is it a boogie? Like I'm blowing my nose constantly, and it's just a little tickle. It's just a little tickle, and it's driving me insane. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's driving me insane.
I don't, maybe it's not a tickle, but somewhat related. But I had one I think was ingrown,
Oh,
and I was just like, it's bugging me, and then I just kind of like was rubbing it, and it made it worse and worse. Fucking nose hairs, man.
Nose hairs. The
Women
worst.
think that
The
fucking
worst.
leg hair is bad.
No, nose hairs. And then I was convinced maybe it was like my mustache hair, like one of these guys was getting long and going
curling
up into my nose. So I had to pluck hairs today. Made me cry.
Your mustache.
I'm gonna admit it here. Made me cry.
Oh.
I'm a crier.
I can't judge you. I can't
Gross.
judge you. We get down to the deep topics here.
This is legit topics.
I'm gonna save that for the podcast. You know it's staying in there.
That's it. Yeah,
we don't edit this shit.
You can edit that out. You can edit that out.
No,
when
it
it
stays
goes.
in. The stiffness needs to be covered.
Great. Glad I brought it up. Is this live? Are we recording?
Now we're talking about it. I feel self-conscious. Like,
yes. I said it because if at any time during this whole thing I'm doing this, it's
still
because it's still bugging me. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Oh, all right. So, we're back. Episode 3. Big week.
Huge
week. What was on the agenda? What did we play?
Well, you know what? I'll bring up Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime because it's free this month on Xbox for gold subscribers, and it was a game that I played the tutorial of by myself and thought, you know what? I don't want to play this game, but I do want to try it out co-op. And when you came over and we played it co-op, man, that game is amazing.
Yes. Yes. I think when we talked about it originally, I kind of sort of looked at the videos of it, I was just like, what a weird idea. Like, what is this going to be like?
Hey, Yeah, and it's got a goofy kind of look to it, and you're just like, I don't know. It's really good.
You know, it is it is batshit crazy, and it just like I don't know how I felt half the time, but I felt like after we had played it, I was stressed out, and I was just like,
Jumping from station to station, trying to defend the ship and moving the shield, and then getting to like, and the turret stuff is great because you can never stay in one spot, and the if the ship moves too far, the turret that you're on no longer good. You
yeah,
you gotta move somewhere else. Like go move the shield away. It was pretty hectic and crazy, and yeah, like it was for something that looks like a cute little game. It was so stressful. Like when we finished that, we killed that boss. I'm like, okay, we got to play something else
yeah.
just to come down because it was crazy.
Oh, the and I'd be interested to see other people play it because I want to know if we are good at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Because I
yes,
feel like we did a couple of things where it's like you were shooting something on one side, but I was dodging them on the other side, and it was
yeah,
just like, and I think we were playing really well because I don't think I'd ever said I'm driving, but
right, right.
I
It was
just sort
just
of
like
transitioned to being in the
assumed.
driver's seat, and you just transitioned to shooting at everything. And I think we play games like that normally. Like when we play Halo, I think I tend to drive all the time, and you
Yep.
tend to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I,
mean? Like,
I'll hop in the back and get in the turret. Yeah, absolutely. We always do that. Like in Battlefield, you're always driving the tank, and or the even the Jeep. Like we're always getting into that. So I'll get on the turret. I got this.
do we ever talk about that, or is that just sort of a natural
I think it's
instinct?
just assumed. Yeah. Like I don't know that I've ever said like, no, dude, you get into there. You drive. I'll shoot. No, it's
I felt like one time we were playing when we were playing on Friday, it was just like I'm like maybe I'm driving all the time. Maybe let
it's
it's like
like, nope,
who's
don't need to
driving
drive.
this thing? Yeah. So yeah, I'm for a free game. I mean even for a paid game, I'd be willing to buy this game for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I mean I own it now, so
I
how do I
I
slip the
really
developer some money for that? Because that was fucking. I had what did we play like 2-3 hours of it, and I just like this
yeah.
is just to get through what the first chapter.
The first chapter, yeah,
How
yeah.
many chapters are in that?
I want to say it's five, but I'm not 100%.
Well, I mean, it took us 2 hours to get through. Let's say it
And
took us two
and
hours.
I like how it's like, find the little rabbit guys, and there's like you only have to find five to move on to the next level, but there's 10 in the map. So it's like if you still feel brave enough, you're like, let's check out over there, let's move over there. And so it's kind of like this like risk reward of like, do we keep going? Like
Yeah,
if we die,
yeah.
like what happens then? So it
Well,
was really good.
in the same sense, I think we the first we passed the first couple of little areas in that first chapter, and then we're like, man, we really need because it's really like the difficulty was ramping up.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we were like, we really need to get all those 10 rabbits to unlock the next because it what was it 30 15 30 rabbits that
Right.
unlocks a special ability or something. So we were like, man, we really need to unlock them all in order to do
Upgrade the
better in the
guns and
yeah.
upgrade all the shields and stuff. Yeah. And the gem stuff is really really good. Like I love having uh, dual slots in the turrets. And you put a laser in and you put a
Metal.
metal in, and it's like, oh, that's a different weapon as opposed to two metals, or there's like really cool kind of combinations of like what kind of turrets do you want, or what kind of shield do you produce by putting in different combinations of gems. There's some depth there. And again, I hate saying this because I don't want to say it in a bad way, but it's kind of like it seems like such a simple game when you look at it, but like, man, it's really deep. It's a really great game.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's
it always opened up discussions for how we wanted to form our ship. Do you know what I mean? Like, do we
yeah,
want to do this? Do we want to maybe we're not using the turret, so maybe we should. You know what I mean? Like
yep,
it
yeah,
there was so many different weapons and so many different options. Yeah, depth is like, yeah, you couldn't have described it any better. The depth of it is just
The one thing I want to try now is I want to play it with more people. Like we got to get Craigie over, we got to get Tara over, and like okay, 4 players. Let's see how the game changes. And does it? I don't know if it scales based on how many players you like. Is it a cakewalk if we have 4 players, or does it just have more enemies if it's 4 players?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I figured it has to, but if it doesn't, then we know how to get through the later levels in the game.
Yeah. Just call up all your friends. Come on, help me, please.
We need these achievements.
There's achievements. I mean, you gotta get them,
game.
please.
Yeah, that. What was the other thing I was thinking about that game? It felt like the way they programmed it. It was like, okay, you're on the left side of you're on the left turret or on the northern turret or whatever. We're gonna spawn enemies on the south and on the east. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
The way they
It was
programmed
like
it was to force you.
There's no way you can stay in that spot. You have to move, and then it's, do you move the turret or do you move the shield, or do you try for the power up shot thing, the laser or whatnot. Man, it was really good, and it felt good when you did when you like hit an enemy with like the laser and it went right through him and it got 2 guys with it. Like that always felt really good, really good.
Or when I shot someone with the engine cannon. It's like, because I was
taking the boss on with the engine cannon was like genius.
Yeah, but it was a little crazy in some aspect because the way I was flying through the levels was, I was being very touchy-feely with like,
yep.
You know what I mean, like this, and then in order to shoot with the cannon, the engine cannon, I had to hold down, so it was just like felt like I was flying out of control half the time because I was like, but I need that save up for that engine cannon. It's like, and batshit crazy, like to have that mace with lasers coming out of it, like it's just like, this is so awesome. Stupid but so awesome. What's better than a mace with lasers?
all the weapons when we got that mace thing, I was like, this looks dumb, like what is this gonna do? And then it was like, nope, this is amazing. I wish all our guns were this is fantastic.
And it was super powerful, and it was just or some of those, the way they designed some of those bosses or like monsters where it's like you can't shoot them and you have to block it with the shield before
and it's kind of dizzy him, and then he's open up and he's vulnerable, and like the enemy design stuff is really good. I mean, and it all looked great. Like it's a really nice, very, very nice style. I liked it a lot.
That art style sort of really matched the craziness of that game. So it's like the overall package, you look at it and you're like, I don't know about this, but after you played it, it's just like, God damn, I can't stop thinking about this game.
So good. I will say I've been listening a lot to the Adventure Zone.
Yeah.
And it's been making me want to play Sword Coast Legends, the D&D game that we bought that we were gonna play co-op. So I thought, you know what? I just want to play a little bit, kind of get a better understanding of the game. So I started playing it, but I think I'm gonna have to put it away because it hard locks my Xbox.
Does it?
Like, yeah, where it's like it hard locks it, and there's been a few times where it's just rebooted the system. Now I don't know if that's because I'm in the preview program and there's like a weird, like, is it a weird bug with the preview dashboard? I don't know.
That would make sense, honestly, because
but like, it's such a painful thing because I want to play more of it. I've got this like glowing sword now. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's kill everything. But having your system freeze up is like, this is the worst. I can't handle this because the one, it's a fun game. It's got the D&D thing down. But man, those load times are crazy long. Like from a reboot, it takes like 5 minutes to get back into like the game, right? So like a hard reset is just a killer. So I just like, I'll back out. Like I can't do this anymore. And that might be the end of it until the dashboard gets like a proper like full release,
Yeah.
and then I can say, okay, it's not the dashboard, it's the game. So
Yeah, I've avoided that dashboard update like the plague, because the last one fucked up my Xbox, and I was just like, I don't really want this. And even after the game was fully released, or like the dashboard was fully released, I was still having really weird bugs. Like, you remember I was telling you about like those external hard drives?
yes, yeah, yeah.
I couldn't format external hard drives. I would take them over to Jen's place. I'd format them on hers. They'd be ready to go. I'd put some games on it, take it back, plug it into my Xbox. It formatted into a generic hard drive again. I fucking tried
Wow.
many things, and then it was just like 3 or 4. It took months. It took months, six months, I think. And finally, it was just like one day. It's like, because I kept trying on and off, and like, oh, there's another update to the dashboard. Let's try the external hard drives, because I really need a hard drive space.
Yeah,
It's like, I pay this money for these external hard drives, and it's not working. Now I have these fucking hard drives sitting around, knowing that I paid money for it, and it's just like, it's not working. And it was working on everyone else's. Like, you know what I mean? I take
that's the killer though,
yeah.
right? It's like, no, this is totally fine. This is a great drive.
You put in a note, and they're like, well, these are the, like, I put in that one request to the support request to Xbox, and it's like, well, here's how you format a hard drive. I'm like, I know how to format a hard drive. Like, fuck, I'm telling you.
Did you try turning it on and off?
I was just like, dude, I know this. And no, I couldn't get it working whatsoever. And then finally it started working. It's like, fuck, I was like, that's it. I'm never downloading another dashboard update. Like, I'll get it when it's finally released.
I'm usually lucky with them, but I feel your pain. The reason why I really wanted this one was because I thought it would have the
Beam update.
Beam
Yeah.
integration, but it doesn't. It's like, no, that's going to be staged, and like we're sending it out to alpha instead of. I was like, well, shit.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I really need this stuff.
But I saw it at your place. I think that new design is slick as fuck. Like,
Yeah,
they I think when the Xbox One first came out, and everyone was looking at the dashboard like, well, this is a big block of bullshit. And it's just like, well, they did the same thing with the 360. They fucking
yeah.
came out with blades, and then it just got smoother and smoother and smoother, and it's the same thing that's going on with Xbox One. Like, that they got rid of the fucking split screen, and now
This
that sliding fucking
Yeah,
overlay
getting rid of
just
the snap is the snap was, I don't want to say it was useless, but it's kind of useless.
I don't know too many people, or
Like
I don't know
I
anyone who
would
used
use
it.
it now and again if I was using because they integrated um like achievement help stuff into the snap.
Yeah, yeah,
So you would say like, how do I get this achievement? And they would bring up like true achievements, and it would show you kind of like, it would give you guides and stuff, which was nice.
yeah,
But even then, like some of those guides, like the text wouldn't scroll, or like it was still kind of janky. I was like, you know what, I might as well just load it up on my computer or a tablet beside me. Um, but yeah, and I like how they've done the achievement tracker stuff. That it's just kind of like a picture in picture
yeah, yeah.
over your game image. Like that's really smart. It's a nice way to get rid of that stuff.
And it's not really that distracting, or it's not really like. I think the more that I started streaming, and having a video camera in the corner of my
Yeah,
overlay, it's like, you know what, this stuff doesn't really block out any content that I really am going to miss anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's much better than shrinking the whole image. That always was the thing that kind of killed the snap for me. Was like, oh, this is making a shittier picture
yeah, yeah,
for the thing that I really want to look really amazing. It's like, well, no thanks.
yeah. No, I agree 100%. And I think that was the primary reason why I never used Snap. Was like, I think I tried it out a couple of times, and as soon as they shrink the image, I was just like, no, like,
Yeah.
I already am blind as a bat. I don't really need to squint any further. And yeah,
So I'm happy that it's gone. But um, which I wonder if with that kind of gone, do you think the Scorpio will have an HDMI in? Like, do they have to keep that just for legacy sake,
That's a good question.
or like do they like, you know what, this was dumb.
Well, it was a media thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
it was.
I don't know how much it would cost to keep it or to get rid of it. Like how much are they really saving? Um, but like it just seems like a. I mean, I hate if there was a way to get rid of the one guide tab, I would. You know, that media tab.
Yep, yep.
Even when I had my, like I cut my cable, but even when I had cable and I would use one guide, it like man alive, it was just as slow as anything, and like sometimes if you use Connect and it went to one guide, and you're like, no, don't go to. Oh, it's gonna take forever to load up.
I mean, uh, I think I can't imagine that they're gonna do it. Like, PlayStation doesn't have it, and they're not suffering because of it. So,
Yeah.
it's that whole thing about making a car. If it's gonna, if if I can cut 2 cents from making this, and I'm gonna sell 1 million units, that means we're gonna save $200,000. You know what I mean? They're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So they'll probably do a valuation of it and determine it's not worth it, because really, I'm sure they have statistics on it. And they're like they
How
easily,
many people are using this?
yeah.
And yeah.
How many people have something plugged into it? And then it's going to be no one. I think I put my Google Chromecast in it, and I never really used it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I can't imagine. I've seen a couple of streamers on Beam that have plugged their PlayStations into their Xboxes so that they don't have to jiggle the cables. So they have like
Right.
their consoles plugged in succession,
But
or whatever.
they don't find like a delay in that. Like I thought there was a slight delay
But
in inputs and stuff.
we watched TTG did
Yeah.
that VR thing, and he had his PlayStation plugged into his Xbox. So I think
Yeah. I don't.
I just said I think, and my Siri just came on.
Ask Siri. Say,
Look at
hey
this.
Siri.
I wish I could, but Xbox hasn't set that up with me yet. What's
That is hot as all get out.
So I should ask Siri what? What should I ask Siri? What should I ask Siri?
I don't know what Siri was gonna tell us.
Siri, is the Xbox Scorpio gonna have an HDMI in or out? Fuck.
In. No, you got it right
in,
the first time.
In.
In and out.
It's-
In and out, Siri. In and out.
In and out, Siri.
Well, I never.
You should see what it looks like. It says fuck in out fuck Siri. Hey Siri, I don't have to have the thing. Yeah, I don't even have to press the button. Goddamn Siri.
Okay, you don't then.
Still yapping?
Fuck it. Stupid iPhone. So yeah, that we were talking about the in. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stay. I don't really think Scorpio's gonna have it.
Yeah, I think I'd side with that too. So back to games. The only two other games I've really been playing is Battlefield 1, which I mean,
Is amazing.
and it's a fantastic game. And Elite Dangerous. I'm on a 20,000 light year mission, and I'm about 16,000 light years into it. I have another
Jesus.
2.5 weeks to get to 20,000 light years, and then get back to the station that gave me the mission.
Sounds
I have
fantastic.
only almost hit a star 3 times, so my health is down to 95%. But my passengers are still all really happy. So hopefully it's 180 million credits to do the mission. And I'm thinking if I get back, I might be super duper close to becoming elite rank in exploration. It's like every star I'm hitting, it's just like I'm just scanning everything. It's
I
like,
would
what
love
are these?
I would love to see the developer release statistics on that. Like, do you know what I mean?
I,
Like how big the
I think they've said in the past the amount of discovered space is 1% of the universe that they have in the game,
that's
which is
insane.
bananas. Um, I mean, if you play the game and you know what the bubble is, that all stuff is pretty much been discovered, and I'd say about 1,000 light years out of the bubble is also pretty heavily discovered. You can still find some systems that haven't been discovered yet. But when you're out to where I am, like I don't even bother looking at the system map to see if people have discovered the planets. I just scan them because it's like there's so many stars where I'm at uh, that there's like the odds of anybody else being in the same spot is pretty low.
That's cool.
But I really love that game.
Did
It's. I remember Stacy said, "Would you ever stream that?" And I was like, "No. Who would want to watch me do this? This is just dumb. Unless this is like you know."
or when
But
Mimi came downstairs on Friday, it's like, you space trekking?
So yes, no, I wouldn't. I don't think I would ever stream it unless we were doing like we all kind of got in together and we were doing the was like the battles where it's just like death match like that might be fun to do like space death match kind of stream that. But other than that, nobody wants to see you scan planets.
Yeah, no.
I don't think unless it's like some entertaining talk in between, right? Like
Yeah.
so
Well, and I mean, in some ways that makes the ideal streaming game because you can focus on chat and play the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
But you really like honestly, you should give it a try at some point because there's I've seen a couple streams Eve Online and there's a bunch of like a bunch of people watching it. So
Well, I'll give it a shot. You know what? This week I'll be super close to one of the markers that I have to get to. So maybe for that I'll stream that day and get to the marker.
and you got those bobbleheads, man. People
Dude,
come for bobbleheads. I tell you.
I almost bought a third one.
Oh fuck!
But you have to be at a station to install it, and I'm like 15,000 light years away from a station, so it's like I'll wait on buying it. I don't need to buy it. Don't give me that look.
You're sick. You're sick.
I am the problem. I admit that.
You are the problem.
So what have you been playing?
I played Battlefield, and what did we play on Tuesday? What did I play on Tuesday? It was so memorable. I can tell you right now.
You played some River City Ransom.
That's right. That's right. River City Ransom. I got my ass handed to me, and so I started
that
saving.
triple kick though. Come on,
Dragon,
OP as fuck.
But also, there's this Brazilian developer that is given passing out keys for this game called Ballistic Overkill.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I've been playing. I played a bunch of Ballistic Overkill. Not so much on stream, but during the week, and it's pretty good. I don't really know how to explain. I guess I play a lot of shooters, but there's something different about this that it's not quite the same, but not quite different. Like it really has a CS:GO kind of feel to it.
Okay.
But CS:GO has always irritated me because it was just like one shot, one kill sort of, and if you really have to play in a good team and stuff like that, this sort of has like the CS:GO feel, but with classes, with different guns and like I played a Vanguard class that had like a shit ton of health, but could carry 2 rifles, so I could switch between 1 and 2 rifles and stuff. And it was really good. And it's so, I mean, they're selling it for $7, so it's like, it's
Wow.
yeah. I I I can't say that I love it, but I
For
didn't.
$7 though.
I didn't
Is
rage.
it an early access game or is it a full game?
That's a good question. I think it's early access. It's an early access game, but I don't know that the price is going to go up. And when I say $7, I mean $7 US, so $8.
Oh shit! So like
$8,
$15 Canadian. Okay.
$85
Okay, I'm out.
Canadian. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't rage to it like I do Overwatch. So,
Oh, that's good.
and
That's-
it doesn't
that's,
have blind boxes.
Oh, whoa.
Tie it all in.
You're selling me on this. I actually kind of want to play this now. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to play more of it on Tuesday. What are we, Sunday today? Yeah, Tuesday. And it's pretty good.
I might be playing with you.
Oh.
I'll say it there. I might do it. This sounds like a fun game. So would you? It's not like Overkill. It doesn't play like Overkill. It's not a
Overwatch.
MOBA
It's
or
not,
Overwatch rather.
no, it's a straight up shooter like Call of Duty.
Okay.
Or
Okay. Okay.
It feels more like CS:GO though.
Okay. Or like a Team Fortress.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But you don't really like Team Fortress is like, you get some classes and you're like, this is fucked up. Like I'm the big gunner. I need a healer behind me, or else I'm just gonna get slaughtered. This is like, it's got classes, but there's a sniper class. There's a big class, but it's not hard for me to take those big classes down. And there's no healer. I think not having a healer can change a game dramatically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like most shooters where it's like there's little pockets of health here and there that you have to go and grab, and they respawn periodically. So, great. I mean, I think a healer will ruin a game if, like, I mean, we've seen it a couple times in Battlefield where if I play medic and I'm reviving people, there are games that we're close, but had I not revived 45 times,
absolutely,
we would have lost that game. So, as someone who plays a medic, I hate to say that I think the medic class ruins games sometimes, but this makes it sort of exciting in some aspects. So, yeah, you look it up on Steam. It was some Brazilian developer, Artistic Games,
Artisanal.
It's an artisanal.
Is it an artisanal coffee? This game.
A Curious Game Studios. Yeah, so it's good. I've played with a couple of the other beamers, and I like it. Again, I don't love it, but for $7. For
$7, why not? Right? Yeah.
I already got my money's worth out of it. Like, it's enjoyable.
Okay.
And I think it helps that I'm playing with people like the Beam community, the Twitch community. So it's cool. I would check it out. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I played this week.
Okay. Are we excited for next week's releases? What do we got? We have Sniper Elite 4.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Like, I kind of want to play it, but I don't know if I want to. I feel bad saying this, but I don't know if I want to buy it right away.
It's a Ubisoft. Oh wait.
But I really do enjoy those Sniper Elite games. It's been a while since they did like 3, so I wouldn't mind going back into. And this one's taking place in Italy, so it should be a fun one to go through. But it's just I have so much other crap. I want to finish Resident Evil first. I think I'm close to finishing Resident Evil. I think. Got to take out the brother and then maybe grandma. Grandma and I are gonna have some words by the end of that game. I'm guaranteed. uh, and I think that's everything this week. No, it's got to be one more. Valentine's Day. Oh, For Honor is this week. Is that? Is For Honor?
Tell me, internet.
Somebody, the internet has to know.
The open beta's out. It's February 14th. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Actually, now that you mention it, because I do remember seeing a couple of pictures where it's like, this is what everyone else is doing for Valentine's Day. This is what I'm doing for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But I think the more I've watched it, like I didn't download the open beta, and what I've seen, like some of the new maps were kind of cool, but the more I've watched people play it, the more I'm just like, yeah, I had
I appreciate what they're doing. I just don't like it. I just didn't like it. The open beta did not sell me on the game.
No,
I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I think that was kind of what killed it for me. And like the combat, I know it sounds stupid, but I felt like the combat was just too complicated. You know, light attack, heavy attack, and then, you know, the directions and all that, and then you got to block the direction that the other guy's attacking, and, you know, there's no stamina. So like I had the guy just keep swinging at me constantly. Like I was like, okay, are you ever gonna get tired?
There's a stamina meter.
Is there? Because it seemed like he was swinging. He swung at me like 4 times in a row. And there's like combos in it, but I don't really know how to do combos. And then there's just all sorts. This one guy did like some sort of special move that like shot down a beam of light, and I was like, what? How did he do that?
So yeah, that stuff. That's the stuff that sort of turned me off of the game. Like they originally in the closed alpha, you really only had like 3 classes, and now it's like they're expanded classes, and they all have this special stuff, and like revenge. There's a revenge meter or
I don't know what that is.
And it's like, holy shit! Like there's one clip I saw where a guy was like, he was getting beat up by 2 guys, and he used his revenge meter and just like bashed them and took them both off the side of a bridge. And it's just like, that's stupid. Like, that's
just dumb. Yeah. Speaking of getting attacked by 2 people, that's probably the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need to pay money to feel this way. Like no thanks.
But in many ways, realistic. Like,
sure.
If I was honestly, if I was being attacked by 2 guys with swords, better
You're
chance.
Fucked.
Yeah.
But okay. But here's the thing. I still think Chivalry did it better. Like they split up the battlefield. You have archers, you have different types of like combatants. They handle the different types of swings through button presses, so it's not so confusing. And getting kills in that game feels incredible, whereas getting kills in For Honor always felt like I fucking fluked it. Like it was like, whoa, okay, I'll take it. I'll take the kill. Like I never felt like the reason that guy died in front of me was because I did a super cool move. It was really just like, well, I mashed things and caught him off guard, and you know, some other guy hit him, and then I just got the last shot in. Like it just seemed like, meh. Whereas Chivalry, you lop somebody's head off, best feeling ever.
Yeah, but my thing with Chivalry as opposed to For Honor was that if I missed a block in For Honor, I know that I missed it.
Yes.
Whereas like Chivalry is like, I got my shield up, I'm looking right at the guy, and for some reason he lops my head off. And it's just like that.
Okay, I will admit, hitboxes in Chivalry maybe not the greatest.
Yes,
but
hitboxes.
The perspective also didn't help when you were swinging when you thought, oh, this guy's totally within my range, and you would
Yes.
just whiff.
Yes. I think there's a little bit more polish to For Honor than there was
Okay,
to
yes,
Chivalry,
I will. Yeah,
but
sure.
I agree with you 100%. Chivalry was like when I did something in Chivalry and I did something right and shit went my way, it felt way more accomplished than hey fuck I held left before and this
Yes,
guy didn't. You know what I mean?
right,
I felt like you could block way too easily in For Honor,
right.
and it was like the time it takes to swing, I could still, you know what I mean? Like I could, it'll be easy for people who play a shit ton of For Honor to become like really good at it and make it impossible for people to
Oh,
hit them,
yeah, yeah.
and that's not cool.
It yeah, it's not. It's just not for me. Like I don't want to bag on the game. It's just not for me. I'm sure people will love it. I think maybe what it was going into it, I wanted it to be like you just said, a more polished Chivalry, and it's not. It's a different game.
Yeah,
It's a different game.
absolutely. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it looks great. It's just not for me.
I wouldn't say, like we were talking, you said it's a fighting game. I wouldn't say it's a fighting game necessarily, but it's definitely not like a first person shooter. Like you know what I mean? Like
Y-
Chivalry
Yeah,
feels like a first person shooter, and For Honor feels like a third party brawler, button
yeah, yeah.
masher. So it's that they're not even in the same really same genre, and
Shall
Chivalry is
we
way better.
shall we move on to some news?
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it. So the big news this week or last week, sort of the other day that was announced was that E3 is going public. Tomorrow's the big day. Tickets go on sale for the public. 15,000 tickets, I think I read something.
15,000, yep, yep.
So the do
150 for early birds.
yeah, I think the early
Eh,
birds are 150 tomorrow only.
Oh shit, it's tomorrow only.
I think it's
Okay.
tomorrow only,
Youch.
and then after that it's 250, and that's American. So
Oh
again,
boy.
that's
Okay. Okay. So 2 and 300.
so that is cool, but
Yep.
we were like we had a brief conversation about this on Friday, and it's like
Yeah.
what are the pros and cons of these guys doing this, making it public? Did you feel like it was really hard for media to get into E3 anyways? Like,
I mean the whole thing has always been that you know tons of people that shouldn't be there are there. You know, and a lot of the media people were saying like, hey, when I was a little kid, I was getting into E3 before I was in the media. Like, I had access to things and I could get in, so I got in. um, but I think like it's weird because I don't know what um like how will they show games at E3? Because I think a lot of the stuff we're gonna get is behind closed doors, and so you're gonna spend $150 to wait in line. Because I think a lot of the stuff is like theater things where like they're gonna show you a demo of a game. Like there's not a lot of you're gonna play this game there unless you've been asked to go see that game. So like I'm not sure what the general public is going to do there. I mean
well,
there will be booths with games, but I don't think it's going to be like say what PAX is.
the general impression I get, you know, Jen has gone to E3, so the general impression I got was it's going to be a lot like how we've gone to X15, where
Yeah.
it's like there's going to be you're going to go to areas, there'll be consoles to play games, you'll line up around those consoles, try to play games whenever, and all the other media stuff is going to be held behind closed
Yeah.
doors. So
Yeah.
unless you're actually media,
Like by invitation, right?
yeah. So unless you've made appointments before going to E3, you you're not you're doing the same thing as what would be considered public anyways. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? So I don't know that opening it up to the public really is going to be that different. So like the public's not going to be making appointments with media. If that means that if that means there's going to be less media, doesn't that mean the media that are going are going to have better opportunities for interviews then? Like it's really all speculation because they haven't really said what is going to happen as the outcome of it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the exhibitors there are there to sell their game, right? They want coverage. So, Timmy going there like, "Hey man, can I see this game?" They're like, "Yeah, I guess, but like
But
how
what's
many Twitter followers do you have?"
yeah, but what's better? Like uh like marketing in its own aspect is sort of evolved in a weird way in that uh they don't necessarily you don't necessarily have to be a superstar in order for this stuff to hit to become positive.
No,
Like
but
if you
like I mean, you're seeing a lot more YouTube personalities walking around E3, right? Like um I I I don't know. Like that's kind of the question, like if Joe Blow is just walking down the street, you're walking through E3, like, it's I honestly think it's gonna be like he's still gonna have to like wait 3 hours to see one game, which is I don't know if that's worth spending that much money. I mean, let's not forget, PAX Prime is right after E3, and a lot of the stuff that gets shown at PAX Prime is stuff that you would see it at E3. So like,
do you,
is it worth it? Here's if the ticket that you pay for to get into E3 included the conferences, I would be all for it. But I don't think it does.
well yeah that's the whole other thing. Are they gonna let those like public people go to the
Because
conferences?
those
Because
things those
that's
things would be fun to experience there, you know, just once. That would be super fun. Um, but I think it goes back to what you said. If you don't have appointments to go see these cool kind of hidden things, you're going to see the big tentpole stuff that, like Forza, you'll be able to see Forza probably, right? Like I would imagine Forza 7 will be at a station, right?
probably.
That you could line up and look at. Um, but like probably won't see Crackdown. Like there's certain things that you probably won't see that are going to be there, but and
So
I wonder how the media is going to handle the regulars. Like how is the media going to handle the public being there? Is it going to be nose up in the air like, "Oh, out of my way, out of my way. I got to get, I mean, they got a job to do, right? So like they have to cover this shit anyway. So it's not like I don't want to cast them in a bad light, but still, it's like they're there to do their job, and like say you and I go, we're there to fucking see games because we love games.
yeah.
It's totally two different agendas there. So I'm curious to see how that pans out, and if 15,000 more public come in, do they start like bringing in more booth babes again and getting all gross and like are they going to go back that route?
Well,
I,
see, this is where I think marketing has changed in that games actually have to be good if you release it to the public because the public's going to be fucking honest with you. Like, there's a good
yeah,
chance. I shouldn't say that for sure because if the right tweet or the right frame of mind mentality in the right space can form an entire audience to something. Do you know what I mean? So like if you get if out of the 15,000 people that get in, 14,000 of those people are PlayStation people, do you not think they're going to hype up the games at E3
sure,
for
yeah,
because I'm pro PlayStation? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but honestly, I think if you release good games and you release it to the public, I think there's still an expectation in people's minds that the media is always conformed toward, they're still paid off. Like these guys are giving 80s, these guys are giving 80s. It's
Yeah,
it's
there's a
kind of,
payola.
yeah. So it's like if you put public into that and they go and they play, then they're, if they generally, out of those 15,000, there's a game in there that, is not getting enough news, but a bunch of people played it, they could get hyped. And if it comes from a source or a source that's, I guess, more trustworthy, then I think good games have the potential to show better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. It also makes those like the media impressions more believable. Like when there's a media personality that says, "Oh, this game was amazing," and like a bunch of the public are like, "Man, this game was fucking amazing."
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, "Wait a minute, he knows what he's talking about." That's can back that up. It's not just like 6 people that get to play the game, right? That you follow. It's a lot more than that.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like adding a Metacritic to your convention.
yeah, yeah.
And if I'm paying
It,
$250 to go see this, do you not believe I'm gonna fucking shit all over shit that? Do you know what I
oh
mean?
man, yeah. Because if you waited 2 hours for a fucking stinker, you're gonna mention it.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
it's nice that this is happening. There's other shows that like the Tokyo Game Show has like a public day, I think, and the Gamescom in Germany also has
yeah.
a public weekend, or is it a public day?
I'm
I
not.
want to say it's a weekend. Um, but so it's nice that it's happening to E3, and the thing they did last year, which was kind of like the public E3, they were doing it at the same time as like E3 Live. I think the general consensus was it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like it was like this isn't E3. This is lame. So doing it this way, I think, is the right way to do it. Just kind of like, look, just sell tickets to people and be done with it. I wonder if they, like you said, we talked about this earlier, but will they make it harder for media to get tickets
Well,
now that they're selling them?
yeah. Will they cut media badges by 15,000? Because I mean, from all I can see is it's already packed. So adding the ability to send 15,000 people to go into these conventions, or is it dying? Like I don't know what the statistics on that is, but is E3 dying slowly? So they're trying to influx more people back into it.
Yeah.
Also, it's super expensive to put these shows on. So is this a way to, like Rockstar doesn't go,
No.
Nintendo now does their web shows. Like,
Yep.
do you know what I mean? Like it from all visual aspects, it looks like it's dying. But if is this a way to get publishers more interested in going to it? If the general public's there, maybe that's what the publishers are asking for. Do you know what I mean? So fuck the media.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you could be right, because I mean a lot of the like E3 doesn't really have a use anymore. You know what I mean? Like, before it was like this big trade show so that you could get your magazines ready and you can,
Yeah.
you can set stories up throughout the year and then post them and stuff. Whereas now, I mean, the publishers have a direct line to their customers. They don't need to really go to they don't really need to go to IGN. They
Yep.
can just go to like a big YouTube personality. They can go to, they can just post stuff on Twitter. They can, like, Nintendo, for all the stuff that we talk shit about them about being behind the times, their Nintendo Direct stuff is fantastic. Like,
And frequent.
it's and frequent, yeah. And you're showing it to people that love your product. Like they're totally into it. And it's really smart. It's really smart. So I can't imagine like why more people wouldn't do that,
Yeah. Well, and traditional media is sort of dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, how often do we honestly go to uh, media sites to read
Yeah.
reviews or look at this stuff? Like, streaming has become huge ways of influence, like, and having that stuff integrated into your dashboard, like, like how many times have I looked at games on the Microsoft Store and gone, and like I look at the traditional screenshots and that stuff, and I'm like, oh fuck,
Yep.
someone's streaming this. I'll click on
I'll,
this and
I'll
and I'll
click on
watch
this and watch. Yep. Yep.
and
I
that
have bought games because I've seen somebody playing. I'm like, okay, it plays like that. All right, I'm in.
yeah.
I'll buy this because sometimes like the screenshots, you're like, I don't like. How is it?
This doesn't give me
Is it a
anything.
driving game? What's going on
Yeah.
here?
And I'll easily just Google if I'm really interested. I'll Google or YouTube the game's name, and if reviews always come up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
There's no shortage of content being put out there. So, and a lot of times I've played enough games that I know, like, when I see it, I know if I'll like it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't have to play it to know it. Like, I can just watch somebody do his thing and be like, okay, yes, this doesn't look good, or this looks amazing. And I have, I have made purchases just by watching a stream and be like, you know what, this looks like fucking fun.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have cut off streams because I'm like, nope, I don't need to see any more of this. This looks great. I'll
Yeah,
buy it.
yeah. Don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for me.
Like, you have a great stream, but
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I guess we'll see what the outcome of is it tomorrow when the tickets go on sale. I suspect, if anyone's buying tickets, it's going to sell out.
They're all gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all gone.
I don't think
Yeah, I
they'll
know.
last. I think we've always wanted to go to E3, but I'm not
Yes.
about to make a fake website and pretend that I'm media in order to go. But,
Right.
at the same time, the fact that public can go, I think, is a good thing. I mean, if it's trying to buy 15,000 tickets, it turns into like trying to get tickets for PAX East, then I'm going to say this is bullshit.
Yes. I am legitimately curious to see what the attendees will be able to see, like, and play.
Yeah.
And will lineups be ridiculous? Will, that kind of stuff? Like, how will they kind of separate public from media and business and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out shortly.
Yeah.
When's
keep an eye-
E3 is
we'll keep an eye
in June, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we only got a couple more months. And the funny thing is that E3 is so funny in that it's like those are the months that there's not really a lot coming out. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, what's coming for Christmas?
It's like, please tell me something's coming out.
So yeah, the other big news coming out, I guess today, was that they're killing off Steam Greenlight.
This is big.
Uh,
I feel like Steam Greenlight, though, hasn't been very relevant for a while, right? Am I wrong on this?
no, I think you're right. I could give two shits about Steam Greenlight. I know there's a couple of times in the past couple of years I've seen something or read a piece of news. It's like, get this game on Steam Greenlight. And
Yes.
I've gone
Yes,
and
I've seen the upvote this thing, please. This is.
yeah, and
But-
I've gone on and I've looked at it briefly and like, okay, I'll throw my, but like, not having paid enough attention to it, like I won't go to Steam Greenlight and say like, what's the new games that might be on Steam? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
that was never
What
a
are the-
real.
What are the new games that might be in early access? No, thanks.
And it still doesn't make any sense to me because it does look like there's still a bunch of, like, I think the idea behind Steam Greenlight was that the public would vote stuff that they thought was going to be legitimate games, and
Yeah.
then that was the way to help Steam filter out what should be on Steam, what shouldn't be on Steam. But there's still a ton of shit on Steam. Like, how how does this stuff
There's
get?
a lot of anime porn games on Steam now, which is sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there obviously must be a market for it if it's getting
Well,
on.
clearly, yes. I mean, somebody's buying them, right?
That's my those are, every time there's a sale on and it's like go through your list of games. I'm like, do not give me
Yeah,
JRPG. I'm
yes,
like,
yeah. I'm like,
I,
why am I getting served all these games?
yeah,
Like, what the hell?
anything tag JRPG. I don't want. This is crazy how much of those games exist on Steam. Which is, I mean, that's your genre. Great. Fuck, you got a shit ton of games to play. But if it's more than 45% of my game market, then I'm just like, I've never bought a JRPG. So why do you keep showing? Well, maybe you'll like this one.
This is the one for you, though. It has anime in it.
So yeah, for them to be scrapping it was, I guess, not. I don't know. I guess they're retooling it. That said, there's what are they? Something about calling it Steam Direct or Steam something else, and it looks like it's just a pay to get on Steam thing, which I think there looks like
they used to curate all the games that were on Steam, but now with the stuff that's showing up on Steam, it's like, are they even doing that now?
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I don't know. And then like with the kind of like, with the emergence of early access, is Greenlight still a thing that needs
to be
needs to be around, right? Because I feel like, blindly going to a store page and hitting a check mark, like, yeah, I guess I'd like to see that game become something, sure. And the difference of like going to a game and seeing, oh, this is an early access, like, you know what, this looks good enough, I will give you money to continue development of this. Like, I feel like that's a better sell, because anybody can just hit yes, like, I'll buy this game, sure. It's a whole other thing to say, here's $15, like, I'm in, like that's I don't know, it's a huge difference.
And I mean, look at our wish lists. Like, I've said a million times, yeah, I'd put money on this. I paid money. My wish list is like over 200 games. Like,
yeah,
I keep saying I'm going to buy these things, but I'm not actually giving my money to it until it's like, hey, I've sold enough trading cards to buy a $2 game. Like, I'm not giving you any money for this, because it's really it's not even worth my money. Like, there's a lot of things I want to play, but there's a lot of things I don't really want to play. So,
right, or you're just like, I'm just trying to help somebody else, so I hit yes.
I'm a nice guy.
But I really, it showed up on my Twitter timeline, and I thought, yeah, okay, I'll help somebody out. I'll hit yes, but I don't really want like, it's not really anything I want to pay money for. No.
But the thing is that, like, do we really need a Greenlight program? Like, we didn't really need it in the beginning. Like, I guess it's their way of making sure there's not shit on Steam, but that shit's going to filter itself out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm not buying this shit, or, like, they should put a program in place where it's like, okay, this game, hasn't sold a copy in 90 days, or make a number, like, if this game hasn't sold a copy and you're not marketing it, it's not valid anymore, scrap it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can have an auto purge. Your game hasn't sold in so long.
Oh, man, that would be the saddest developers in the world. I got auto delisted.
Yeah, but how does that function? Like, how else? If you're worried about shit on Steam, then
well, at some point, Steam is getting closer to like what the Apple, like the iTunes store is, or the App Store is, where it's just like, it's just a gazillion things. You're like, I don't even look for programs for my phone anymore. I wait for somebody to say, hey, have you tried this? Oh, okay, I'll try that out. But I'm never gonna go into the marketplace and be like, hey, what's new in here? Let me see. Like, no, man, there's a gazillion things. Like, I don't have the time to look for stuff, and I don't, like,
Well, do you think that Steam is doing this in order to save money on, well, not save money, because what I'm thinking is that Steam, if I play a game for less than 2 hours and I hate it, I can get a refund from Steam.
Yes.
So if they open up the floodgates and say, okay, here's games, whatever. Can you imagine what the requests for refunds on this shit is? If they, you know what I mean? They're still trying
yeah.
to keep the shit from hitting the fan so that they don't have to refund so much, handle any more requests to have their money returned to them.
I could see that. I could see it, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I feel like when people will know it's trash when they see it. Like,
Yeah.
like, I hate saying it like that, but it's like, you know, it's like I always felt that way with the Xbox indie stuff on the 360, where it was like the truly independent stuff, which it had like that separate marketplace just for those games. Crap, I can't remember what the program was called. But
ID
but
Xbox? No,
no, that's the
that
new
was
one.
no. I
It
know what
was
you're talking about.
it was
Though.
the XNA stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, they kind of uh, fixed the problem by saying, like, the games can be like $1 to $5, like that's it. I don't think you could buy super expensive stuff there. So it was like, okay, this game is garbage. It was $1. Who cares?
Yeah.
But a Steam game can be $30, can be $60, right? And it's like, well, if it's kind of trash, like, oh, that's trouble. A lot of times too with this, like, it's a good idea, but then it's not they just don't follow through with it. So like the end product is like, well, you missed it. Like, you missed the mark, like, so I don't know. I think they should. I think that Greenlight can die,
Yeah.
and it's okay. Or they make it a certain price to get in, so that way you have to be serious about your product, to be like, you know what, I've put in, the team has put in a ton of time into this. This is actually something I believe in, and I'm willing to dump whatever, $500, $1,000, like, what is it to get on the list, to get into the marketplace.
I think that's what allegedly that's the idea is what they're thinking, is that I think the number was, it's all allegations, but someone had put one article I had read said that it was like somewhere between $100 and $5,000. I mean, $5,000 would be ludicrous.
That seems
for some
like,
of these small games.
That's like
I've played
going to the bank and being like, I'm gonna make a game and I need.
Yeah, like what a way to kill your platform then. You know what I mean? Like, because I've bought a shit ton of games on Steam for that, maybe have made $5,000 in their lifetime. Like, so that's a shit ton of money for, I don't know. I wouldn't.
For some of these smaller places, that's way too much money. Yeah. Like, just way too much money.
If they'd be smart, is if they would charge by how much you charge. You know what I mean? If I'm going to charge $60 for a game, maybe then you're 5,000. You're 5,000. Yeah. If you're going to charge,
if it's a $10 game, it's like, okay, well,
like, your profit margins have to be bigger,
right?
Or whatever.
Right. Or maybe it's a small fee up front to get in, but if it becomes a gigantic success, they take more and more off. I don't know if they can do that. Somebody will complain about that.
Yeah,
but
for sure. But yeah. So I'm not sorry to see it go, but
to be honest, I thought it was dead when early access started kind of getting really big,
becoming a thing.
Yeah,
for sure. So the only other thing I read, was I guess Sony PlayStation now supports external hard drives.
Yes,
They kind of
this is
slipped that through.
great. This is a good thing. The OS update is still in beta, so you had to kind of sign up for it. But it's coming out soon, and yeah, adding external hard drive support is fantastic. I know it's super easy to open up the unit and put a new hard drive in, but just being able to just plug a 2 terabyte drive into the system, be like, okay, I've got 2 more terabytes. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
And this generation is kind of bananas with the size of games. Like, you want in 360, you could install some of the games onto the hard drive, and there were 7 gigs. I'm like, okay, there's enough space, but Wolfenstein was 50 gigs. Like, that's a considerable amount of your hard drive. Like, the base models were 500 gigs. Like, that's a significant chunk
Halo
of your
5
hard drive
was
space.
90.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
these games are really big. Fallout 4 just had a high res patch come down, and I think the patch was 22 gigs. So games are big.
Well, and I mean, this is not even just a digital thing, because it's
no.
it'd be like, I'd buy a disc, I'd put it on. It's like, okay, but we need to put 90 gigs on your hard drive.
Yeah,
So
like this game's running off the hard drive. So,
and if I remember correctly, the PlayStation 4 came with a 500 gig hard drive as well, right?
Yep.
So that's not a lot of space.
No, that's like 10 games.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
so,
not that. I mean, you want us to have a high attachment rate to these consoles, then maybe you want to give us more hard drive space.
Yep. It's a smart thing. I'm glad they put it in. The really cool thing about that patch is how the Pro has got a boost mode now, which will give a slight, which should give benefits to all games on the platform, as opposed to before, where it was just games that gave that had the publisher, or sorry, the developer make like an update for it, right? So games that were like Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 was notoriously bad on all platforms. Well, not PC, but on the 2 consoles, for having terrible frame rate. And then with this boost on the Pro, it's more stable frame rate. So you're getting a more constant 30 frames per second with the game. Now if the game was programmed to be 30 frames, you're not going to get 60 frames out of it.
Yeah.
So, but you'll get a more consistent 30. Things like Evil Within has a patch in it that it got rid of the letterboxing that was in the game. But when you got rid of the letterboxing, the game ran. It didn't run as well as when the letterboxing was there. So, but with this boost thing, you're getting a more solid frame rate playing that game without the letterboxes, which is great. That is a good benefit for the Pro. It should have been there from the start. To be honest with you.
I mean, that's sort of my reaction when I read it, was like, this they doesn't support. Like, I thought, I was under the impression that PlayStation automatically supported external hard drives, and I was just like, they don't have this. I'm like, wow, that's a kick in the nuts. Like, that's that's a deal breaker to me. Like, I'm not that there's a lot of PlayStation 4 games that I want to play, but
Now. We'll play Killzone together. Come on now, don't be that way. We'll play Killzone. We'll play Killzone 4 or Shadowfall or whatever that is. I'm gonna buy that one of these days. I'll buy it.
What's that game that's coming out at the end of the month that looks so goddamn badass?
Horizon. I was talking to Stacy about that because she was like, I want a game. What should I get? And I told her about Horizon. She's like, I think I could do that. Yeah, you can get that. And I was like, all right, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Why aren't you working in sales? Like, I think you should be a salesperson. I could sell my wife on this.
It's like, yeah, you totally want this. And it's like, I don't think she's really gonna like it, but I think she'll dig it. Because it's kind of, it looks like it's one of those like open world games where you can kind of set a few goals. You can play it for an hour or two, and then put it down, and then come back to it later and set up a couple other, mini goals before you go off and face like a set storyline kind of thing. So yeah, like I see that like Ghost Recon, a lot of Ubisoft games are like that, where it's like I can spend a play session just finding collectibles or doing side missions, and then when I'm ready, I'll do a story mission and actually pay attention. You know what I mean? Where it's like, but I can just kind of goof around and just do side missions for a bit. So I think that's what she's looking for. Is like, I just want to play it for an hour or two, and then, put it away.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I think it makes. I mean, I think we've had this conversation before, where it's like, the generation is, like, people that are buying these games are older. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we grew up with video games, so we have money now, so we want to play video games. But we also have families, so we can't quite. Delve 20 hours into a game, so it makes sense to be able to appease to that wider audience depending on their lifestyle. But it makes it for a more complicated game to design. So, yeah, I like that stuff. So, I'm interested to see that in action. Watching clips of that game really makes me.
I think it's out the week after next.
Yeah, it's the 28th.
The 28th?
28th, yeah. So that'll be interesting.
I might move the PS4 downstairs for that and do a stream.
Oh, I'm tuning in for that. But I'm saying,
see if I get that early.
It's only one HDMI cable, right? It's got HDMI in, right? You
we can do it. We could do it. We could do it.
There's a way to do it. There's a way to do everything. So yeah, that about wraps up the news, I guess.
Yeah. We might have to wind it down.
Yeah, I think that's everything. So I guess that's it for now. Again, for those of you that are tuning in later, we do this every Sunday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, on Beam and Beam Pro /Gwildor, GWILD0R, or beam.pro/Zorbsie, ZORBSIE. You can find us on Twitter, same moniker, Twitter /Gwildor, Twitter /Zorbsie. And so what do you think you'll be playing next week?
So I want to do some Battlefield next week. I want to see if I can finish Resident Evil 7, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope. And Thursday I'm going to go back to Halo 4, try to do my legendary run for my Throwback Thursday, and Friday will always be Forza Fridays, and we'll drive around and knock people off the road. And then honk our Haruga horn. This should be fun.
Yeah, I think for me, Tuesday I'll do some more Ballistic Overkill. If see how that goes, and more Battlefield. I'm thinking I want to try to get in Witcher 3, because I still haven't finished that game.
Oh man, yeah.
After buying those pop figures this weekend, I got those two.
I saw those. Those were nice.
Yeah, we saw Siri and what was the other girl that was like this singer in the.
Oh shit!
What was her name? Anyways, it was just like I was like, I'm like, but if I'm buying Geralt, I have to buy Yennefer.
Absolutely.
So I went through all the boxes and I fought Yennefer. I'm like, yep, perfect.
Sold.
All I need now is a unicorn. Nah, bad joke.
Hot.
Pop figure sex, gross.
Oh.
So yeah, that's our stuff for this week, and we'll see you all another time.
Yep.
All right, peace out. Word to your mother. Someone said, "Say."
Comes in just to mention it right at the end. Snuck in. Hey now. I'm interested.
Pop figure sex, though, it's even better.
So,
There's
yeah,
like
that's
no
the
inanimate, no appendages. You're just magnificent facial. Yeah.
magnificent. Ooh, hey now.
Do you have one of those little Filipino mustaches that kind of?
I got a trim right here. It's starting to get a little soup strainer almost, you know?
Every time
So, yeah.
you're eating, you sort of accidentally
Yeah.
pull on your mustache hair.
Yeah. I always if I have to do this, if I have to do this before I drink or eat anything, it's like, okay, I gotta trim it
Time
down.
for a trim.
Just a Charlie Chaplin stash.
That's a little stash.
No,
really.
not at all. No. We're taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking. It's a Charlie Chaplin stash.
It's a Charlie
It was never a
Chaplin thing.
Hitler
Come on,
stash.
we're taking it back.
That's the great. Alrighty. We'll see you. I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later, guys.